Active versus passive investment. What's the difference? There are many portfolio management strategies that investors adopt to oversee their investments. But among them are two popular portfolio management methods: active versus passive investment. Investors always prioritize the support and adoption of one over the other. But despite your choice as an investor, both portfolio management strategies work just fine. The difference, however, is in how the show is run. For more than a decade, findings from several studies reveal that passive investments yield more returns than active investments. This makes passive investing an increasingly more popular choice among investors. This video takes a somewhat closer look at the differences in the activities, strategies, advantages, and disadvantages of passive versus active investment strategies. Active investment. Active investment is a hands-on approach to managing your investment portfolios. In this case, someone is actively in charge of deciding what and when to buy and sell stocks. The portfolio manager's goal is to beat the stock market's average returns while taking advantage of short-term price fluctuations in the market. Active investment involves having a deep understanding of how the stock market works. The fund manager's success depends highly on their ability to pivot in and out of a stock or bond. Of course, the target is to invest in the most performing assets and withdraw from the least performing ones. They seek to make the most of short-term fluctuations in the prices of traded stocks. This, therefore, means that an active investment strategy involves taking on risks head-on. Hence, the investors have to trust their portfolio manager's ability to steer them into more gains and better returns. As the name implies, it takes a deep understanding of the market to succeed as an active fund manager. Successful active investing, in practice, does not mean that you won't lose, but it means that you will win more than the times you fail. Passive investment. Passive investment is the exact opposite of active investment. Instead of engaging an active investment portfolio manager, the investor adopts the set and forget approach. Unlike active investment, many investors see passive investment as a low-cost and low-maintenance approach to investing. This is because of the minimal time involved compared to active investment. Also, the cost of actively running and maintaining your portfolios are almost eliminated. Interestingly, more investors seem to support this style of managing their investments. Additionally, passive investment does not seek to outperform the stock market. Instead, it aims to match up. And there have been exciting reports showing that passive investment can potentially squeeze out higher returns than active investment. Worthy of note is that passive investment involves long-term investing, where investors let their funds work over long periods of time. Effectively, this approach adopts the buy and hold tactic. In the long run, passive investors keep their eye on the prize, ignoring the sometimes inevitable setbacks and downturns in the market. Benefits of active investment. Active investments tend to outperform a set market benchmark because of the active involvement of a professional portfolio manager. This makes it suitable for short-term investment goals. Also, active managers don't necessarily follow a specific index. They are free to create a financial model or type of investment strategy that allows them to buy the stocks they believe will do well. Secondly, active managers are at liberty to hedge their bets using short sales. They can also pull out of any stocks when the risks become too much to manage. Investors who are not confident in managing their funds personally can take advantage of the market opportunities by engaging professionals who know better than them. If everything goes well, an active investment can yield some great returns. Disadvantages of active investment. The fact that active investment involves human fund managers doesn't mean that it will always deliver the best results. You can achieve index-beating performance any day, you can't guarantee when. And as your fund manager strives to beat the index benchmark, you also have to keep in mind that tax and charges apply. Active investment is way more expensive than a passive investment. This is because the buying and selling transactions cost money. You have to pay the charges of the fund manager who's behind the success you record. But as your investment performance differs, so are the applicable fees. In other words, if you decide to let someone manage your investments, it is best to hire someone with enough experience to do a good job. Benefits of passive investment. Besides taking a relaxed approach to investing, this method happens to be a less expensive alternative for managing your funds. It eliminates the need to pay high administrative fees and taxes. Also, there's no need to pay an active fund manager. Passive investments are ideal for situations where the investor is willing to leave their money in the stock market for an extended period of time. In the end, the results, though subject to market forces, pays off for the patient investor. Therefore, a passive investor does not have to worry whether they have chosen the right or wrong manager. They know exactly where their money is at every point in time. Disadvantages of passive investment. To begin with, passive investments may not be suitable for some investment products. Passive investment is mostly limited to a specific index or a predetermined set of portfolios, such as exchange-traded funds, ETFs. Secondly, they'll never be able to beat the market, being that they're only tracking it. This means that the returns from a typical passive investment take more time and may be less than the proceeds from active investment. Having a clearly defined investment strategy is the best and most crucial step in your investment endeavor. It guides you on the best investment strategy you'd want to adopt to grow your funds. If you do not need access to your funds for an extended period, then passive investments would be ideal for you. However, if your investment goals involve cashing in as soon as possible, then taking a short-term, active investment approach will be in your best interest.